This is a dog. Well, not just any dog. This is my dog. Well, this is a drawing of my dog. This is what he looks like in the third dimension, and this is me getting ready to talk about him. Hey guys, it's me, JP3, the guy who once paid someone weekly to be his friend, and I haven't uploaded anything in over half a year. Now, this video isn't only going to be about my dog, it's going to be about all my pets. So that's right, it's going to be about all my pets. Yes. By the way, I just want to clarify that my dog's name is Scooter, because I realized that I never said that was his name. So now whenever I'm referring to Scooter, now you know who I'm talking about. Now the first Why am I craving grass? Now, the first story is going to be a tale that is quite infamous that we bring up from time to time because it's funny. So there was some family over, and my dog is very rambunctious. He is, only a puppy. He was, 2 years old when this first happened. He's 3 now. But, yeah, we had to keep him in his cage. It was kind of sad because he cried a lot, because he wanted food. Anyways, we let him outside in the backyard because now he wouldn't bother anyone else for food, but also he was happy, so, it's a win-win if you ask me. After that, I just spent a while hanging out with everyone, eating cheese and ham or whatever we had there. We sung happy birthday to my great-grandma, rest in peace, and overall it was, pretty fun, However, you know that I wouldn't have been making this video if something crazy didn't happen. It's probably not as cool as whatever you're thinking, but it's still definitely funny. We then heard scratching at our front door. You could probably tell where this is going, because once we opened it, we saw none other than Scooter. He somehow made it from the backyard to the front yard without running away. And this was before we trained him to not run away, so it was like a few months ago. We have a gate in our backyard that prevents you from getting to the front yard. Meaning that this man dug below the gate, walked to, the front door, and, basically knocked on it. Which is even crazy, because, also, he can open doors. Not only has he learned that pushing on doors makes them open, but even on doors you need to pull, he's learned that. Because I have been in the backyard with him, and I have seen him standing on 2 legs and using his paws to rotate the doorknobs to open the door. He is not even a dog. What is going on here? I also remember that one time he locked us out of our house. I don't even know. Anyways, now I'm gonna move on from Scooter and talk about my cat. Yay. So my cat actually used to be a stray, but I made everyone agree to adopt her because, I'm just such a good person. So my kitten's name is Jorge Washing Machine. That's not true. We named her Biscuit, but then later people said that name wasn't really the best name for her, so I renamed her to Echo, which I actually really liked. But then my grandpa, brought her to a vet, and on her birth certificate or whatever, he named her Miss Kitty Biscuit. And as rancid as that may sound, it is now her new name, and it will probably be changed in the future, eventually. Maybe. Probably. So since my kitten is still new and also a kitten, I don't really have that many stories to tell about her. But there is one story I have about this little rascal that is pretty interesting. So my cat had to stay in a cage for a bit because she just had surgery and we didn't want our dog accidentally hurting her or anything else. So yeah, I was just chilling in my room one day when my grandpa came in and said, "Hey, the cat got out of the cage and doesn't know where it is." My dad and brother went outside to clean the car or something, and my grandpa left, and my dog was in another room so he couldn't eat her or whatever, meaning that I was all alone by myself looking around my grandma's room for this cat. My grandpa told me where he thinks it was, and he said that it was under one of her dressers or something. And as you can see by the picture that I'm showing now, she clearly wouldn't fit under there. That's what I was thinking. So I didn't really even bother looking. I did look under her bed though, and there were a bunch of stuff under the bed. So I had to take everything out from it. I'm all by myself, ripping things out of the bed. Couldn't find her. I looked everywhere. It was anarchy. But finally I look under it and there she was. It was honestly like a jump scare. I tried my best to get her out, but, it wasn't working. Well, I mean, it did finally work, but, then she just ran underneath the bed again. So, once that happened, I had to try my best to reach my hand under the bed to get her out, but then she just ran underneath another thing. Finally, though, I got her to stay under the bed and a place where I could reach her, but every time I tried to get closer, she backed away. I decided to wait for her to just go outside of to the other side of the bed, where she could leave the room naturally, but it wasn't really working. Well, I mean, it was, but very, very slowly. She slowly walked to the door. Every step she took, it was like she paused to deeply contemplate every choice leading up to this moment. Finally, she left the room, where I ran up to see where she was, and then I realized I didn't see her, which meant that she could have been anywhere in our house. Now, I actually did have an idea of where the kitten could be, so I thought that she was behind the couch somewhere. So I looked, and yeah, she was definitely there. Now, even though I knew where she was, it was still impossible to get to her. I could have moved the couch, but even then she would just crawl back underneath it. So the only way I could possibly get her out was to get the dog. Look, I really didn't want to either, but the only way for her to get out is if he scared or sniffed her out, because at this point I still wasn't 100% sure she was even under there. I had to tie Scooter's leash around a chair to make sure that he wouldn't go chasing the cat around, because yeah, he found out that she was indeed behind the couch. So I had to move everything around. It was literally anarchy. And then my dad and brother walked in, he yelled at me, and I put the dog away, and we did end up finding the cat. So it was a pretty anticlimactic ending to the story, but, you know, at least we got the cat. Hooray. Now, I have had a few miscellaneous pets, like fish and stuff, but there's nothing too noteworthy to talk about it. The end!